Media minim say, ye wie to abayi wie November 4th. Ye wie just a yenina ya kabombium, lay a copri agitumino. Enti media me ye me campaigner, min didi obia tem, min kasa ntia obia, min didi obia tem.
Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Ghana here on Studios 2 Television. It's the Wednesday edition of the show from our studios here at Studios 2 TV, live on YouTube as well as on Facebook. This is a news podcast where we, amongst many things, seek to bring to you the latest details as it happens, seeking to put Ghana first always. I am Eric Mawina, and on today's edition of the show, the special prosecutor, Cecilia, files fresh document or applications in court seeking to have the High Court confirm the seizure of some monies from Cecilia dapaah's home and the freezing of her account. On the campaign trail of the governing New Patriotic Party, the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, says he will not respond to insults and accusations leveled against him in the lead up to the November 4 primaries. We'll stay on elections just a while longer because the Electoral Commission has, in a series of explanations, been detailing why the limited voter registration is taking place as it is. This is Let's Talk Ghana. Stay with us. We're back shortly to delve into these matters. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ghana here on Studios 2 Television. Like I always tell you, this is the show where we put Ghana first in all of our conversations. So, in the very latest, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has filed fresh details in court, seeking to, like I was telling you in the headlines, to, amongst many things, confirm the freeze of the hard currencies found in Cecilia dapaah's home, and then, as well, the freeze on her account. Well, the charge sheet has made for interesting viewing in the last few hours, really, because the details came out somewhere yesterday at about a little past midday. And amongst many things, it has revealed that Cecilia dapaah operates a real estate company or a real estate business using an alias, that is the name of another person, to run the business and makes profit from it, but pays the money into her account. The details of the statement is just going to come up on your screen shortly while I walk you through some interesting portions. It's a lengthy piece and one that, look, if we're to do, we can decide to just go through that piece alone for today's edition of the show. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go through certain bits and pieces of it. So that's it on your on your screens now, the statement or the charge sheet rather from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And the pointers are going to come up now. So out of the many things the OSP identifies as one of the reasons why it is important for the courts to confirm the seizure of the monies, the OSP says that Cecilia dapaah claimed ownership of part of the 2.8 million cedis retrieved from her home. She claimed it was proceeds from her sitting allowance and her cosmetic business, a business named dapaah Cosmetics. But the OSP's checks revealed she did not own the said business, dapaah Cosmetics, which business she got proceeds from and kept in her home in hard currency. The OSP's investigations revealed that she didn't own it. In fact, the business was in the name of another person, which made the OSP raise the flags that, this one, if you own the business, why don't you own it with your chest? Why are you going through the corners? So that's one. Then, again, part of the discovered cash in cedis, which was discovered by the OSP at her residence, Cecilia dapaah said, look, the business which she says she owns, which has been described as shady, that business, she did the business in 2003, and the money she got, the cedis she got in 2003 is what she was keeping in her home. up to the point when the OSP's investigations revealed it. But the OSP said, 2003, we were not spending Ghana cedis. So how did you have money? You did business in 2003 and you've been keeping the money. And now all your notes are in fresh currency notes printed since 2007. We don't understand. And so another red flag from the office of the special prosecutor. Then another reason why the OSP makes the argument that, look, this money, she cannot account for it. It is corruption related. Is that despite the fact that Cecilia dapaah and her husband claimed that the amount of money discovered by the OSP at their homes forms part of the money that was stolen. You know, they stole $1 million, 350,000 euros or 300,000 euros, and some millions of cedis in cash. They say that, look, the money you came to find in our house, it is part of the money that was stolen from us by our house helps. But the OSP said, if it is part of the money that was stolen and you've been able to get it back, why have you not told the police about it? Because they had not told the police that they had been able to retrieve part of the stolen amount. And so again, the OSP said, look, that's a red flag. A red flag which we deem worthy as basis enough to have your account frozen and to have these monies that we saw in your house seized as well. Then these were arguments on the cash. This is where it gets interesting in relation to the bank account, where the OSP raises the red flags of she using another person's name to run a real estate business. So the OSP said, look, she sold a Snit Boteman Estate flat number BTOD BLK2 2BR/1 under the name of Nanaya Ode. But she appended her signatures on all the documentation in the lead up to the sale. When it was time to pay the money, she, through her agent, told the people that pay the money into Cecilia dapaah's Prudential Bank account. That's another reason why the OSP believes that this money is tainted. And then the last but not the least has to do with how her brother, Cecilia dapaah's brother, who died in 2022, right? He died in 2022. But as at September of 2022, his brother's accounts, money was leaving or transfer were being made from his brother's account into her account in September of 2022. And then in May of 2023, somebody who is dead is making transfers like they are alive. The OSP said, there it is, court. This is enough basis for us to arrive at the conclusion that we need to freeze her account. And so those are the details. The hearing is expected somewhere October of next month, and it's something that we'll follow up on and bring you details of. We're not going to go on a break. We're just going to switch our attentions now and do politics, because the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has been on the campaign trail for quite a while, has been speaking, but he's come under a lot of attack, a lot of criticism, particularly from Kennedy Ohene Ejapong, who minced no words on Monday night when he went on a radio station and said very worrying things about the Vice President. But the Vice President on his campaign trail says, me, I'm not going to do dirty politics, so because we have to break the eight. And so the moment I also go dirty, I can't come to you when I win that let's go and campaign. So me, I'm not going to do it. So anybody who is going to attack me, feel free. Take the shots. I'm wide open. But I am not going to respond. Here's what the Vice President said in the Akan language.
Mimpe mpai mo mempe mo uye MPP nia mini ube kabum na ye juma Kukurudu. Enti media minim say ye wie ye to abayi wie November 4th. Ye wie a gise ye nyina ye kabombium na ya kopri agitumi no. Enti media mi ye me campaigner min didi obia tem. Min kasa ntia obia. Min didi obia tem. Min kasa ntia obia. Min bo obia dimpo. Mimbo obia dimpo me kyerɛ ma adwin kɛkɛ ama delegates na delegates umwaye umwadwin udidi obi atem ene a na ekyina okofrɛ no sɛ bra na yɛnkɔyɛ campaigner ɔbɛba ɔmba enti medeɛ minim sɛ yewie a yɛbɛka abom enti maka nkyerɛ me spokespersons so ɔmo nso so kasa ma ɔmo didi obi atem obi didi matempo a omunka omununtum because ye pese ye vonya nkabom e obi aho na etimi ko akopere agitu me.
And so Vice President Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia there. We're going for a short break. When we return, the Electoral Commission has been addressing a news conference and responding to its critics over the limited voter registration. We get into the details shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ghana here on Studios 2 Television. And so the Electoral Commission on Monday, the very late hours of Monday, held a news conference in relation to its limited voter registration exercise, the concerns that have been raised from civil society and political parties as well. And the EC said that, look, we admit to challenges at the start, but we've addressed it. We've been able to register 182,000 people in the first 6 days. And the claims by the NDC that we are trying to disenfranchise people or we are taking faulty machines to their strongholds is not true. Here's exactly what Jean Mensah had to say in these excerpts of the news conference.
Of the Let the Citizen Movement. We thank God for making it possible to meet under this platform to brief the citizenry about the ongoing voters registration exercise for 2023. Article 42 of the 1992 Constitution confers on every Ghanaian who is 18 years and above and of sound mind the right to register to vote. Similarly, Article 45 of the Constitution clothes the Electoral Commission with the mandate and responsibility of compiling the register of voters at such periods as may be determined by law. It is in the exercise of this mandate, therefore, that we commenced the 2023 voters registration exercise on Tuesday, the 12th of September 2023. I'm happy to note that in spite of a few hiccups experienced in the first 2 days, the exercise is proceeding well to the glory of God. As you may know, we experienced in the first 2 days temporary breaks in the registration exercise, due mainly to a number of issues ranging from disruptions to our internet supply, to power outages, rainfall, and in a few instances, faulty kits. As a commission, we quickly moved to resolve these issues to ensure an unhindered, smooth, and seamless process. I'm happy to note that the registration exercise is proceeding well. A key policy established to guide this registration exercise was the use of the online method of registration. By this, I mean that the system is connected directly to the big database. I'm informed about attempts by some persons to get minors on the register. And we encourage the citizens who observe these illegal practices to challenge them. We have a recourse in the law that allows citizens who qualify to vote, who qualify to register as voters, to challenge anyone who in their view is a minor or a foreigner. Additionally, we have charged our district electoral officers who are serving as registration officers to challenge the registration of these minors and foreigners. We expect that with their effective supervision and leadership, there will be no minors or foreigners on our electoral roll. We have received reports of the arrest of the youth organizer of one of the political parties in the Shai Osunoku constituency. It is alleged that he was facilitating the registration of minors. We are also aware of other cases of attempts by other persons who should know better to register minors. It is for this very reason that we felt it necessary to limit the documentation for identifying a person's citizenship and age to the Ghana card. Indeed, our experience with the 2020 registration exercise revealed attempts by minors and foreigners to illegally get on our roll. And it took great deal of time, effort, and money to expunge them from our register. In all, we succeeded in deleting the details of 15,000 persons from our register. Our proposal to use the Ghana card as the sole document for identification for registration purposes is simply to guarantee and protect the integrity and credibility of the register. It is not to disenfranchise any eligible voter as is being alleged. The current attempts by sections of society to register minors strongly supports our proposal for the use of the Ghana card as the only document to verify and attest to a person's citizenship and age. Similarly, what we see gives credence to why our proposal was resisted. We use this opportunity to caution guarantors to refrain from guaranteeing for minors and non-citizens. In the past, they got away with it. This time, we intend to compile a list of defaulting guarantors and bring them up for prosecution. On a personal note, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen a video circulating in which the author states that as Executive Director of the Institute of Economic Affairs, the IEA, I called on the Electoral Commission to expand the registration centers during the 2016 voters registration exercise ahead of the 2016 presidential and parliamentary elections. I categorically state that I said so, but I did so in a constructive manner, devoid of attacks, insults, and falsehood. We will recall that in the lead up to the 2016 election, the Commission at the time undertook voter registration in its district offices throughout the country. This was conducted in a year of a general election, that is a presidential and parliamentary election. And now the difference here is this. The current exercise being conducted in the 268 district offices is not being undertaken in a year of a general election. Hence my call to the Electoral Commission in 2016 to expand the scope of the registration. That is not to say that the district level election is not important. It is. However, as mentioned, our budget and work plan for 2023, which Parliament approved, was based on a long-term continuous registration and not registration on electoral area basis. I place on record that our plan for 2024 is not the same and will not be the same as what is being carried out today. Neither will it be the same as what happened in 2016. I'd like to take this again. I mentioned that the 2023 DLEs are important to us. Indeed, they are important elections indeed. However, as mentioned earlier, our budget and work plan for 2023, which Parliament approved, was based on a long-term continuous registration and not registration on electoral area basis. I place on record that in 2024, our plan will not be the same as what is being undertaken today. Neither will it be the same as what occurred in 2016. In the lead up to the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections, we will roll out a continuous registration of voters for several months in the district offices. Additionally, we will undertake a mop-up exercise in selected electoral areas, and particularly in areas that have difficulty in accessing our district offices. And so you see that the registration exercise planned for 2024 is different, or will be different, from what was conducted in 2016. What is baffling is that the very same people who are accusing us of trying to disenfranchise eligible voters were silent in 2016 when the Commission instituted registration in the district offices ahead of the presidential and parliamentary election. I take this opportunity to urge the good citizens of Ghana not to believe everything they hear. The allegations being made against us, including accusations of our working to disenfranchise eligible voters, to sending faulty kids to the stronghold of a specific political party, are false. A number of districts reported having faulty kids on the first 2 days. These kids were not located only in the stronghold of a political party, of a particular political party, and the evidence is there for all to verify. The only region that did not report any faulty kids is the Savannah region. All other regions had faulty kids, which were swiftly replaced. As mentioned earlier, the faulty kids in the Tamale metropolis were replaced immediately to enable a smooth registration of voters. As a result of the backlog from the first day, and based on my discussions with the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, we set up 2 additional registration centers to cater for the teeming crowds. In all, the Tamale Metro Office has 4 registration stations, and this has helped to ease up the long queues and traffic. As a commission, we remain open to constructive dialogue and call on our stakeholders, particularly the leadership of political parties, to engage with us to ensure a successful exercise. I wish to emphasize that in 2024, once again, the Commission will undertake a continuous registration in all districts for a sustained period, and we are looking at some 5 to 6 months of continuous registration. Additionally, a mock-up exercise will be held in selected areas where it is difficult to access our offices. As a Commission, we remain committed to ensuring that every eligible voter who is desirous to get on our roll can do so without hindrance, and we will work within our mandate to ensure that this happens. I'll now turn my attention, ladies and gentlemen, to the statistics of the voters' registration exercise so far. At the end of 6 days, we have recorded a total of 182,831 registered voters, and I'd like to provide the breakdown. The NIA. I think it's very simple. The database is not done, the registration for the national identification card was not done on polling station basis. I think we all know that anywhere you found yourself in the country, you could register for the Ghana card. However, the EC voter card is done on polling station basis. It drills down to a person's polling station. And so it enables the Commission to know the number of registrants in each polling station and plan adequately for them. You are well aware that at the point of voting, we have what we call the biometric verification devices, and we feed in every person's details from that particular polling station in the kits. And so when you come to vote, your biometrics are verified. Your fingerprints and your face is verified. We are not able to do this with the Ghana card because, as I mentioned, the Ghana card is not done on polling station basis, which is unfortunate because I believe in the planning of these things, we should have been able to judge and come to that discussion that let us do the Ghana card on polling station basis. So unfortunately, that has not been done. And if I found myself in the northern region visiting a family member, I could get a Ghana card there. It's not tied to polling stations. So the EC is unable to use the Ghana card for registration purposes because it does not allow us to plan. It does not allow you to be able to know who is in this polling station, to put their biometric details on the verification device, and also to provide materials to cover that registration. And that is what it is. And it is, again, a lack of planning. If that had been done, then we could have had a very seamless process, and it would have been easy to use the Ghana card for registration purposes. We talked about service on the commission on the 8th of September, Friday the 8th of September. To the best of my knowledge, we do not have anybody in our legal department called Daniel. Neither is the head of our legal called Daniel. There is no person called Daniel in our legal department. And as we speak, the commission did not become privy to that documentation or that service, that wait until Wednesday, because on Monday the commission was in the field, and on Tuesday we were on the field, and it was only Wednesday after the exercise that we became privy to that service. So I'm sorry to say that per the record of this bailiff, there's no person called Daniel in our legal department. Neither is the head of our legal department called Daniel, unless I don't know that he has another name, another first name. But I know him as Emmanuel. I don't know. You have another name?
No.
And so we've known for a long time that we had registration. Why wait till a day before the exercise to serve on a Friday when there's a lot of field activity going on? And as a commission, when documentation is brought in, it goes through steps, a recording process. And so sometimes it does not end up on the desk of commissioners for some 2-3 days. And so we would like to state that it was after the start of the registration that we became privy to the injunction that had been set upon us. Again, I think yes, you talked about the old office, and as you know, it's
our registration centers, persons with disabilities and pregnant women and the elderly, they are not supposed to queue. As soon as they get there, they are supposed to introduce themselves to the registration officials, and they are always attended to. And so far, we haven't received any reports to the contrary that they've not been attended to. Thank you very much.
In the registration center. So why are we complaining about the long queues? Because it's good for us, isn't it? If the guarantor system allows everybody to come, then we should not be complaining about long queues. It's good for us. But we hear complaints about long queues. But, I mean, really, as a commission, we don't think so. We are mindful of the fact that the National Identification Authority had some budgetary constraints and they were not able to register. They have not been able to register for a while. But we are also mindful, and we are also well aware that over the last 2 weeks, they've kick-started their activities in the districts, and they are registering persons who are 10, I think 15 years and now in the districts. So so the cards are available. The cards are available. And so if you can come to the commission with a guarantor in a district, You can go visit the Commission's district office with a guarantor. So should you be able to visit the NIA district office to get your Ghana card. And I believe that we should, I believe you've all taken note of, some of the newspaper articles, pinpointing to the registration of minors. Is this what we really want as a country? Do we want to have foreigners on our road? Why can't we go to the United States of America and go and register? And if we cannot, why should we allow foreigners and minors to get onto our road? And so we need to really be honest with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves. In addition to that, Parliament has passed an LI 2111, indicating that in the event of identification for any transaction, the Ghana card should be the document that is used. So why are we not using it? So we don't believe for any reason that the long queues we see in our district office is as a result of the guarantor system being applied. Because if you can go to the district office with a guarantor, 2 guarantors, so should you be able to visit NIA's district office and get your card. Thank you.
Jean Mensah, there, details of that press conference, and that's how we end today's edition of Let's Talk Ghana here on Studios 2 Television. We're going to be following up on the updates, bringing you details as and when it comes through. I am Eric Mawinegbet. As always, a pleasure having you be a part of this news podcast. We'll return again on Friday with a lot more details. Many thanks for watching.
Studios 2 TV. The truth is here in your eyes.